Okay, so let's just talk about this. Welcome to another weekly talk, and I feel like this week I have not had time to do anything, to be honest. So let's just say that I have not been able, like, at the beginning of the week that we are talking about, I was just like, I am going to try and watch like a few of the things that I never get to watch, like start somewhere else in my like watching order. Was I able to do that? No. And the reason was I am currently taking on my task of painting my bathroom. Just because the tiles in there are horrific. I don't like them. But to, fix up a bathroom costs a fortune. And I can't afford that. So I am doing kind of like a temporary solution, which is painting. And let's just say that painting tiles are not that easy. It sometimes is really, really difficult to actually do that. But yeah, so it took me 4 days. Let's just say that. So the first day, I basically needed to scrub the tile, like wash the tiles. Then I needed some primer and then 2 coats of paint. And those needed to, dry in between. So this was something else. Can we just say that? It was kind of difficult. It was definitely a difficult task ahead. And but it went fine. I have painted 2 out of 4 walls. And those 2 walls that are left, I basically need to take down the sink. And then I need a few things, and it just takes some time. But once the sink is down, and I am just going to, just take everything out, except for the shower, because I can't take the shower out. But basically the plan then is to paint the rest of the walls and paint the floor, because the floor is also very ugly. And so that's the plan. So as you see this, it will be in yesterday. I am going to buy more paint, where that is basically, the paint that is needed. So I need some like bathroom paint for my walls, and then I need floor painting for the floor. And it's going to be very interesting. But I mean, now I have given you an update on why. So let's just talk about what I have watched. I have not watched that much. So I have watched the second to last season of One Calls the Heart, and I have to say I am liking it more now. I feel like the like middle has been a little slow. And when I say middle, I mean like from season, I don't know, 7, 8, and throughout it has been kind of slow. And now we are starting to kind of pick up again. And but just a few things that is happening this season that is more or less kind of interesting to watch. Then I am done with season 2 of I Am a Killer. This one is very interesting, and I mean, it's still very interesting, and I can't wait to continue on. I have 6 seasons. So I have 24 left. 24 episodes left. So I will probably be able to, finish off like 1 season every week. Meaning that it will take me like a month to finish off this. So it should be interesting and it should be fine. And I have to say, I find it very fascinating to... One thing I find most fascinating is if the things that the people in prison say compared to the other ones like outside. Especially if there were any witnesses. Can we just say that? So sometimes I feel like I trust more the witnesses, basically what those are saying. And just because I feel like they just tell what was happening. But then once you get to like the people inside, like the police, the lawyers, the like all of those people, sometimes I feel like I don't trust them as much, just because, especially if those are like really different from like the other stories, like the one in prison, or the like people who were there, like the witnesses. If those are very different from the police, I'm just like, but why is it so different? And I have seen some of those. Like some of these are like really chilling, where you are just like, I don't feel like these, they give you like, they are not showing any sort of like remorse, and that is very creepy. Some of them are really creepy people, and some of them are, you can definitely see that they know that what they have done is wrong, and they take accountability. So yeah, it's very interesting. Then I have watched Growing Up Animal, and I'm halfway through. I have 3 left, and this is fine. Some of it is really interesting. Some of it I don't care that much about, but yeah, it's interesting. Then I have watched season 1, like finished season 1 of the Doghouse, and this is so cute. Like seeing all of these like dogs being adopted, and yeah, it's really really sweet. Some of the stories are really sad, and yeah. And then this is the one that I watched the most. So like on Sunday, I just sat down and just like let it run. And that is Young Sheldon. These episodes are so short that it's really easy to get through a lot. So I am on. I just finished episode 16 in season 1. So I am going to continue on with this, then go over to George and Mandy's first wedding. Not first wedding, first marriage. And then go over to the Big Bang Theory and see. And all of these are like around like 20-30 minutes, which I really love. I really, really love that they are short, just because I sometimes feel like I'm watching so many like long TV shows that I just get a little bored. But those are the TV shows that I actually have been managed to get to. I mean, the days where I was painting, I can't have anything in my bathroom that needs the Wi-Fi, just because the Wi-Fi is too far away and I get no reception in there. So yeah, those are the things that I have watched. Overall, I have had a blast with the things that I have watched. Now I am hoping to pick up a few different things like this week, which it should be fine. I feel like I should be able to get through more things. It's just it takes some time to get through everything, but this week I am hopeful that I will be able to get through this, just because the bathroom is basically on hold until my dad tells me what I need to buy to basically finish off the sink. So yeah, but then I mean at that point I think that when I start those are like really like tall walls. My dad will probably help me because I can't reach, and yeah, so that's the plan. So yeah, those were the TV shows. I have not watched any movies, which it sort of sucks, but then again, I don't think I have watched anything. At least. So that's kind of it. Let's go over to talk about the things that I read. I've not been able to, read as much, since reading takes up some time. And when I painted, I have read like really like nothing much. So I finished ADHD Brains Don't Come in One Size, and this one actually really helped with giving some guidance to what you can do. Then I finished Finding His Redemption, and this one is for my Kindle Clear Out, so it's more on that than there, but I gave it 4 stars, which is a really, really great rating. And I have to say that one thing was how interesting this was, and yeah. It started out a little slow, but then once we got into it, I actually really enjoyed it. Then I read Hot Seal and I gave it 2 stars. So this one, basically the thing that I had the most trouble with was that these 2 people, they basically got married straight out of like college, got married in Vegas, and then she wanted to be I don't remember. She wanted to be a DEA and he wanted to be a SEAL. And basically, she was really like, she wanted to be that. And she was just like, you're not going to stop me. But when he says that he wanted to be a SEAL, she was just like, you have to choose between me and being a SEAL. And I'm just like, so basically what you are saying is that I am going to be able to do whatever I want to, but you can't. And that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And then, they got a divorce because they were like off on each side of like the pond. I almost said, like, doing different things. They broke up because it just basically like doesn't work out. We are too far away. Then they got a mission, and that mission was together. And basically what happens then is that they fall for each other again. Not fall for each other again, but apparently they loved each other for however long they were not together, but they slept together with other people. And I'm just like, okay, I guess that's fine. But I just feel like if you loved someone else for all that time, why would you like sleep together with a lot of women and men and everything? And then they got together again. And basically now it's just one, like, apparently it just works out. And I'm just like, nothing has changed. Like, I don't feel like nothing has changed just because she's in the DA and he's still a SEAL. So how is it supposed to be any different this time around? So, yeah, that was kind of just me. I don't know. So that was that. Yeah, I didn't love this. I just felt like there were a lot of things that why? And I just feel like it's really unfair when you say that I can do whatever I want to, but you can't. Then I'm gonna give you an ultimatum. I just feel like that just rubs me the wrong way when you can get everything that you want, but he can't. Or the other way around, Then I finished Crown of Dragons and Ring of Dragons, which are both in the, I don't remember, the Age of Sorcery series or something in those lines, like, yeah. So, 3 stars. I feel like I like these enough, not like a new favorite, but I like them enough to continue on with them, and basically these are for like my Aurelian path. So, and I feel like they are fine. I'm listening to them, I like them enough, but they are nothing like anything that I feel like is wow. Yeah. Then I read True Crime Case Histories, Volume 1, so these are like a lot of volumes in this. But this is basically like 8 disturbing true crime stories, and some of them are very disturbing. And yeah, it's interesting, definitely. And yeah, I mean, I find true crime interesting. I tend to don't like read or watch or listen to anything like that at like evening, just because one time I did that. And then you got a really creepy story, and I was just like, no. Like, especially like once you get to like stalking things, and you listen to that in like really late, I'm just like, nah, no, can't do that. So yeah. Then I read Curse of the Wolf King, and I gave it 3 stars. This is also for my Kindle Clear Out. So yeah, that one will be out on Sunday. At least if my plan is right, then Sunday. So yeah. Then I listened to the favorites and I gave it 2 stars. And I feel like this one was on my 5-star prediction list because I was just like I feel like I'm going to love this. A lot of people have loved this, and listening to it was something else. So in this one, we are basically following Heath and Kat. And we follow them from they are young, and that was really interesting, how they like getting into pair skating, and then he basically disappears. She don't know where he went, and come back a better skater. But during that time, she has gotten a new partner, Garrett, and basically a best friend called Bella. Now Bella and Heath pairs up, and they basically win a lot of things. And Kath is always like just not there. So she has kind of lost, which is really sad. And then basically Heath and Kat starts to pair skate again because something happens, and people are basically shipping those two people. They get engaged, and then basically Bella lies, and basically Heath and Kath, they get in a fight, and basically she throws the ring, and he, out of vengeance, he sleeps with Bella. Now, I am not going to say that the engagement is broken, meaning that he cheated with Bella. Like, he cheated. The best friend cheated with the fiancé, and I'm just like, what? And she saw them. She basically leaves. She leaves California, moves to Illinois. I think it was Illinois. Lives there like a kind of a hermit for, 3-4 years or something. And then basically Sheila, which is basically Bella and Garrett's mother, dies. So she goes back to the funeral. And you can definitely see that there is something going on with Bella and Heath. Except that apparently, according to Bella, they are just friends. But then, basically, Bella, she gets and wants to talk to Kat in Illinois. And she just says that, oh no, they're like Heath and Bella, they are just friends. She wants Kat and Heath to pair up again. And basically they do. And then one thing also happens after basically Heath goes into Bella's room. You kind of don't know what is happening. According to her, they are just talking, and I'm just like, nah, I don't believe that, sorry. And then we figure out that Bella is pregnant with Heath's baby, and I'm just like, okay. So the we are just friends basically is we are just friends with benefits. We are sleeping together to get off some steam, and I'm just like, yeah, okay. So you lied to Kath just to get her to come back into Heath's life because they are soulmates. He waits for you. He loves you. He thinks about you. Okay. I don't believe that for a second. Can we just say that? Now, we don't get Heath's perspective in this, and I'm just like, we have no idea what he thinks, but I'm just like, I don't believe for a second that you two are soulmates because you sleep with a best friend, ex-best friend, I'm gonna say, but apparently to them, they are best friends, and I'm just like, your best friend would never ever hurt you like that. And then, yeah, we figure out that, oh, they are, having a baby, but they are not together. I'm just like, okay. And this happened while Kat was, had come back. So she knows exactly, like, when it could have happened. And I'm just like, okay. So you were there, basically. Not like they're there, but... And then, basically, they go to the Olympics, to Sochi. And basically, someone switches out Heath's pain medication and basically poisons him. So he get into cardiac arrest after they win the Sochi Olympics. And then basically they are taken, like their medal is taken away just because, a scandal with this whole thing, like, yeah. So basically it ends with basically Keith, no, not Keith, Heath and Kate being in a 10-year-old situationship where she is a weird stepmother to Heath and Bella's baby child who calls her Auntie Katie. And she has on the engagement ring, but they never got married. And I'm just like, so I still to believe that they are soulmates, but they never got married. They have basically been together and broken up more times than we can ever count. And the only one that is kind of winning in this situation is Bella. Is it weird situationship, threesome? I have no idea what you even call it. And Kath is the loser. I just felt like this was a, hey, let's just do everything that we can. So Bella and Heath is a shit and Kath is the loser. That was what I got out of this. And if you think about this differently, then that is your opinion. I just feel like sometimes I think too much during books. Sometimes I apparently don't think at all. And yeah, we never, like Heath never apologizes. He never shows that he actually regrets anything. So I am kind of just like, no. And I was kind of terrified once you starting like comparing it to like the Magnolia Park series. I was kind of afraid just because I know what happens in those. And now I do have them on my shelf. Somewhere. Like this shelf probably. And then, yeah, I was just like, But the difference between the favorites and the Magnolia Park series is that BJ actually shows remorse. He goes to therapy. He tries to change. He apologizes for what he has done, and he basically explains himself. Why did I do this? I have gone to therapy, and I have basically reflected on why I did this, and yeah, that's the difference. And yeah, it basically made me mad, and I hope that I never have to think about this book again. And I don't know if I want to call this a romance, just because when you call it a romance, I just wanted more. I just wanted to actually feel that they were in love. But I didn't feel anything. I was just like, Heath could have ended up with Bella, and I would kind of had no problem about it, because then, two pieces of shit could be together. And I'm just like, I don't feel like Bella should, Kat shouldn't call Bella her best friend, just because best friend would never do that to you. And basically, if I had walked in on my fiancé and my best friend sleeping together, I would have never forgiven them, and I would have moved on and never talked to them ever again. But I think that's me. Someone might think differently, but I would have never talked to those again, just because I just feel like you need to show me, really show me, if I'm going to give you another chance. So yeah, that was a big rant, and yeah. So other than that, I haven't finished anything else, and yeah, I don't know. Do I have anything else to talk about? I kind of don't have anything else to actually say. I get tired of talking about the fairies just because I feel like I have so many thoughts on it, and yeah. Yikes. And I feel like if I would have been really satisfied with the ending, I feel like this one would have probably been more, like, if I had really loved the book, this one would like probably have been more like I'm not gonna rate it, just because it has one of my like most hated tropes ever, and that is the cheating trope. I feel like if I am to forgive someone for that in a book, there needs to be some groveling. There needs to be like some explanation of why on earth did you do that. And a lot of times you don't. So yeah. So now I am just going to go and relax and just see what I can get up to this week. And yeah, so I hope you liked this video, and I will see you next time for another one. Bye!